are your angles. Now we're going to go back and write their equations. If you have 3 colors, I'd get them out. If you'd like 3 colors, I'm going to color code this. You don't have to use colors, but that's what I'll be doing. Okay, I say, you say. Pay attention. Measure of a central angle to its arc the same. Say it. So it goes like so. The measure of this angle, right there, we'll sing in a little bit. Right now we're just chanting. That angle equals that arc. It's very simple. Angle equals the arc. Angle equals the arc. The smaller angle of inscribed is half the arc it's plane. Say it. So for this one, this angle here is half of the arc it's grabbing. So this angle equals the arc over 2. Smaller angle of inscribed is half the arc it's plane. A tan-chord angle is the same as the one inscribed. Say it. So right here, this angle is equal to half of that arc that it's facing. So it's the same as the inscribed. I'll explain why it's the same in just a moment. But watch out, tan-chord technically has 2 angles going on. It has that angle there, and then this angle on this side, the pink one, is going to be half of that arc. So there's technically 2 angles and 2 different arcs going on there. Now, the reason why it's the same equation, I'd like you to darken the vertex for both. Darken the vertex. And I'd like you to write the word on for both. The reason why the equation is the same, do you notice the vertex is on here and it's on there? When the vertex is in the same position, you're going to have the same equation. Same position, same equation. Say it. Same position, same equation. When the vertex are in the same position, you're going to have the same equation. So although we have 7 angles, we really only have 4 equations because a lot of them are going to be duplicates like these 2. The next one, I say, then you say. A chord angles have the sum of the arcs it strives. Say it. So this angle here, technically there's 2 of them, but either one of them is going to be half the sum of the arcs it strives. So it's going to be 1 arc plus the other arc. Put a big fat plus sign in there, over 2. Arc plus arc over 2. And what it means by strides, that blue angle kind of straddles and grabs those 2 arcs. You see that? So it's grabbing the arcs that it's intersecting to. Now, how do I remember this one? Put a dot here in the middle, write the word in. In. When you bring someone into your circle of friends, are you adding or subtracting? You're adding them. So right here, if that's in, you're going to associate that word in with that plus sign. You understand? It's inside. Not to be confused with the next 3. Next 3, all the vertexes are out, out, out. When you take someone out of a game, are you adding them to the play or subtracting them? Subtracting them from the play. So for this one, it's going to be as something subtracted over 2. So it's almost the exact same equation as the one right above it, except that one's add, this one's subtract. That way you can kind of associate it. So that word out means this. So we're going to start with this angle, that angle, this angle. They all have the same equation, so I'm only writing it once. Equals big arc I write that with capital letters minus little arc. I use lowercase letters over 2. Big arc minus little arc over 2. When you're done writing that, put your pencils down. Okay, put your arms out. You are now this secant angle. Can you visualize that? Type your head, say vertex. Okay, when we say arc, I want you to visualize this. You have the big arc at your fingertips. So wiggle your fingers, say fingertip arc. That's the big arc, that's blue. Then there's another arc, and it's smaller because the angle's smaller. I'm going to call it the elbow. So go like this with your elbows, call it the elbow arc. So there's an arc back here at your elbows. And what you do is you take the fingertip arc, you subtract the elbow arc, and then you do what? Divide by 2. That's how that works. Fingertip arc, subtract elbow arc, and divide by 2. Yeah. Okay, ready? Light bulbs will come on, we're going to do a couple problems together, and then you'll be on your own. Okay, when you do the problems, you trace angle equation. Circle plug tab, trace angle equation. Circle plug tab, say, trace angle equation. Circle plug tab. Oh, wait a minute, we forgot to sing. You got to get this in your head.
Angle like question mark?
No. I will. Good. I will come back to that. Alrighty. Ready? I want you guys. Whoops. Ready? I want you to have this page in front of you, please. Back to this page. I forgot. We need to sing so you get this memorized. So that's what you're looking at. And then I'm going to have a nice clean copy up here. I sing once, and then you sing twice. If you catch the tune, you want to sing with me around the first round you made. Here we go. Boom. Don't pound. Snap is good. Don't pound. Measure of a central angle to its arc the same. The smaller angle of inside is half the arc it's plane. A 10-chord angle is the same as the one inscribed. 4-chord angles half the sum of the arc its sides. Secant, tangent, angles are all the difference of their arcs. Multiply by half. Down flat. Sorry about that. Ready, guys? You sing with me. Overwhelming with your lovely voices. Ready? Measure. Yeah, it's higher. Ready? Measure of a central angle to its arc the same. The smaller angle of inscribed is half the arc it's plane. A 10-chord angle is the same as the one inscribed. A 4-chord angle is half the sum of the arc its sides. Secant, tangent, angles are all the difference of their arcs. Multiply by half. Okay, difference, add or subtract. Difference, add or subtract. Yeah, okay, great. You're like looking at me in this way. That's like second grade math. I'm going to go over it. Ready? Now we're ready for here. I'm going to do this first problem with you. Step 1, you're going to physically trace the actual arms of the angles. Watch what I do. I like you to trace exactly that. Notice I physically trace the arms of the angle. That helps your brain register the position. 3 of you didn't trace at this moment. Please do it now. Check. Now, do not say this out loud. Identify what kind of angle it is and write it down. Do not say it out loud. Do not say it out loud. Trey, what'd you get? What is it? It's a what? It's chord, right? So now we write the equation. You will write the equation every single problem. There's going to be, flip to the next page, just glance at it real quick. You see all those gray boxes? The gray boxes are for the equations, not for your answers. Okay? Gray boxes for the equations. So we write it like this. Angle equals arc plus arc over 2. Now remember, when you write equations, this yellow box, that is not an equation, that's an expression. An equation has two sides with a what? Equal sign. If you don't have two sides, you don't have an equation. Now we're ready to circle, plug, chug. So we circle, we sweep our angle, we bring it down. I want you to physically trace the arcs. Physically trace them. Don't just circle them, trace them. Circle that word arc, trace the arc. Good. This technically is going to go over one. Do your own math. Don't look up right now. Finish that problem, solve for X, look up when you're done, check your math. Finish this one problem yourself. Yes. Quickly, yes. Don't look up. Do your own math, guys, and then look up when you're done. That's it? Yes? Thumbs up, going at 28, let me see, real quick. Okay. Now, the next one, I'm going to give you a timer. I want you to take a stab at it on your own. Do not help each other. Do not ask your neighbor what they got. Do not compare answers. Follow the exact same process. Trace angle equation, circle, plug, chug. I'm going to leave that right here. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If you finish early, just work to the right of your paper. 2 minutes. Try to do this completely on your own. Do not get help. Do not ask your neighbor for help. Okay? You always trace the arcs you're working with. So there's our, and it is a secant what? Secant tangent. Yes, or a tan secant, same thing. And it's going to be angle equals big arc minus, yes, you're correct, it is minus little arc over 2. You ready? Now, when you do circle, plug, chug, you want to physically trace stuff. Watch. Angle. Our angle is X. Ready? Our big arc is what? Out loud. 200 minus little arc. Not there. Okay? Now, some of you, I noticed you got that far because I saw your eyeballs and you're like stuck. You have a second variable. You're like, I don't know how to find that variable. The reason is because you didn't put your finger on your paper. Ready? If you trace this, and trace that, how many degrees altogether? 360. I have 240 from here to here. Okay, there's about 5 of you. You got that far, but you couldn't figure out how to do the rest. And now you're doing this with me. And you get 120. We're not done. Is that 120? That's our elbow angle. That's going to be divided by 2, and the answer is 40. How many got 40 to start with? I know you're in the minority. Raise your hand. Let's see. Yeah, that's about average, about 4 people. Okay, so right now, the rest of you, what I want you to do, and you're in good company. That's the same percentage in all my other classes. Only a handful of people got that. I want you to write a little note. What are you going to remember to do? Write down 3 things. Ask yourself, where did you drop the ball? The rest of you. Where did you drop the ball? Identify, and what are you going to remember next time? Okay, tell a neighbor why you got it wrong and what are you going to remember next time? Go. Tell a neighbor, why'd you get it wrong? What are you going to remember next time? Go.